As the Minnesota Vikings search for their future franchise quarterback, every single stone needs to be overturned. Quarterback there? Meh. Guess not. So enter Trace McSorley, the former sixth-round pick quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, former Nittany Lion. Now he's stuck behind Lamar Jackson, as well as RG3. Yeah, Kirk Cousins knows RG3. So Spielman should make a deal with the Ravens, does a ton of business with their GM Eric DaCosta, bring Trace McSorley to the Vikings un-timo, and then also draft a quarterback in the first round. So let's talk about the pride of Penn State today. Background, 25 years young, turned 25 in August, 6 foot, 200 pounds, was a 2019 sixth-round pick out of the Penn State University. Former three-star recruit coming out of Ashburn, Virginia. Eventually took his talents to James Franklin's Nittany Lions in Happy Valley. Became a starter his redshirt sophomore season, 2016. Peak was 2017 when he had an amazing year. 66.5% completion percentage, 3,570 yards passing, 8.4 yards per attempt, 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, 153.7 quarterback rating. Also had 11 rushing TDs. His mobility is a big asset as well, plus an 87.4 PFF grade. The Lions went 11-2, including just an epic close game at number 6 Ohio at the Shoe. McSorley also had a game-winning throw to current Saints wide receiver Juwan Johnson at Iowa when they were number 4 in the nation, when Penn State was number 4 in the nation, not Iowa. Screw Iowa. And then capped off the year with a 35-28 win in the Fiesta Bowl over Jake Browning and the stupid Washington Huskies. Now, of course, the Penn State had some great weapons, had Saquon at the height of his powers. Miles Sanders was your backup running back. It's not bad. The tight end Mike Gesicki is doing some big things now with the Dolphins, as well as Deshaun Hamilton, who's a nice college receiver. So he was on the draft radar. He was on the fringes of the Heisman radar headed into the 2018 season. Was overall pretty aight. Penn State went 9-4. Lost to Kentucky in the Citrus Bowl. It's whatever. But finished his college career as a great college quarterback. 40 straight games started. Basically holds all the Penn State passing records. Also ran for 30 touchdowns in his time at Happy Valley. Just a really nice career. But there were some questions about him at the NFL level. Had a great combine, impressive 40, 4.57, explosive in the jumps, as well as had an elite short shuttle at 4.12. But at his size, was it going to translate to the NFL? NFL was still sizeists at that time. And even at the combine, some teams asked if he would work out in the wide receiver and defensive back drills. And he's like, nah. Actually respect the hell out of it. He's like, I'm a quarterback. I'm going to be a quarterback. And if I don't make it, it's going to be as a quarterback. That's fine. Ended up being a 6th-round pick by the Ravens. Now, the Vikings had their chances at McSorley. So they had 3 6th-round picks in 2019. They went with Armand for Watts coming out of Arkansas. Marcus Epps, a safety from Wyoming, who went to the Eagles, as well as Oli freaking Udo coming out of the Elon University. So now it's clear that Spielman and his scouts had at least watched McSorley because they drafted Brian O'Neill out of Pitt and Jalen Holmes out of Ohio State in 2018. Both those teams played McSorley in 2017. So I'm sure, hey, that number 9 quarterback who's doing big things, plucky, feisty, yeah, that guy. Also, I mean, they obviously watched Washington tape, or they're probably at the game. Jake Browning losing to Trace McSorley and Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl that season. So either they were on McSorley, or what's more possibly more true is that they were dialed in on Jake Browning as the UDFA. That's why they gave him all the cash as a UDFA signee. Or maybe they're just like, hey, we got to get us Marcus Epps. Yeah. Great. So like we said, right now, McSorley is buried behind Lamar Jackson and RG3. 2019 in preseason, threw for 533 yards, 4 touchdowns, also ran for 1 as well. So the question is, why would Baltimore trade him? Well, he's not the future there. I mean, Lamar Jackson is young. He is the reigning MVP, and also they also brought in Tyler Huntley, quarterback I liked out of Utah. They brought him in as a UDFA, who's currently on the practice squad. Plus, after this season, will only be 2 years left on McSorley's rookie deal, and also with everyone and their mom looking for the next Taysom Hill. The next gadget or wildcat quarterback, he could be in demand. But frankly, I like McSorley as a real quarterback. And he really does remind me of Mark Brunell, who was the quarterback coming out of Washington, was a 1993 fifth-round pick by the Packers. Eventually, they traded him to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then he had a phenomenal three-time Pro Bowler. Great mobility, great awareness in the pocket, most importantly, and also just a tough leader. Like, he doesn't have the size, he doesn't have all this, all that, but he's a mobile quarterback who's tough as a $2 steak, and he will fight you, and I love it. Plus, McSorley has a great arm. He's got NFL level velocity deep as well as outside the numbers. Accuracy, been a work in progress, but I love that he's a gamer. He is feisty. He is a competitor. You saw that in college. Big time throws in high leverage situations. The moment is not too big for this kid. He has huevos. He has onions. He's got all of that, and I love it. So, trade compensation. How much is it going to cost you, Chief? Well, I would have been fine if the Vikings would have included him with the Yannick deal, but I understand the whole public, well, we want as much, as close to as possible as the second and conditional fifth, just for appearances, sure. But the Vikings do have the Ravens' fifth-round pick in the 2021 draft because they sent it in 2020 for sixth-round pick wide receiver James Prochet. So start there and be like, all right, so give back your fifth-round pick. That's not a bad ROI for a sixth-rounder. Maybe we'll freshen it up to conditional fourth if he does a little something on the field. Sure, why not? You know, Spielman, like we said, with DaCosta and the Ravens, have done a lot of business before. Corey Vedvik, as well as the Yannick the Freak trade, sure. Get him on the horn one more time. Trading for McSorley, it'd be super interesting. He's got 2 years left on his rookie deal. I think that he is the plucky, fiery guy that you want as a young backup quarterback, where Jake Browning is whatever. Nate Stanley is whatever. Sean Mannion certainly is what he is. He's a 28-year-old career backup and will always going to be. But you get a guy like McSorley with huge upside on the back end of that roster as your backup quarterback, suddenly gets pretty interesting. And again, trading for McSorley, whether it be in season this year before the deadline or in the offseason before free agency, it does not preclude you from drafting a quarterback high. So picking up Trace McSorley and then drafting a Zach Wilson, drafting a Trey Lance in the first round. All of a sudden, you have a rookie franchise potential quarterback. You have another young guy backing him up who's super athletic and super aware in the pocket and a lot of fiery upside as well. You're good. You're good. And then draft another quarterback. Because why the hell not? Because anything, get as many lotto tickets as possible, get as many tickets in the raffle as possible, and all of a sudden, you win. Crazy, right? But your thoughts? Trading for Baltimore Ravens backup quarterback Trace McSorley? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.